Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai. Only of all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Basham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To your sisters, you Achwathiam, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And yeah, watching all these videos, and they were afraid of what Biden has allowed Ukraine to do by sending them the long-range missiles. And of course, they shot off a long-range missile, and to everybody's fear, right? Hey, look, Russia launches ICBM missile at Ukraine after Ukraine fires a stream. Ukraine after Ukraine fires UK stream shadow missiles into Russia aimed new Russian nuclear doctrine is World War III next, right? Just join me today at November 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Pacific Time is 10 p.m. Scott Rittler. We will discuss Biden and NATO, right? Yeah, so you yeah, so this is see. But yeah, this is kicking everything into the World War III. The escalation in the Ukraine conflict. What they'll bring both to the battlefield and geopolitics situations at large. Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, they're afraid that this guy right here is like a no nonsense type of guy. Not to mention the Most High is you know he's gonna be tapping into his brain. Well, the Lord's tapping into all their brains, even this fool, right? Who's just an actor, right? He's not really into politics. He's not really suited to be a president, a ruler, or anything type thing like that. He's just an actor, right? And things is about to yeah, they about to heat up, man. They about to cook up. So they're wondering Yeah, so this is ABC News. It says Russia launches new ICBM missile at Ukraine. Zelensky says Putin is terrified, which really he's the one that's terrified. He's an actor, he's a poser. He he's just a puppet, man. Straight up, all the way around a puppet, man. You know, set up by the elites, right? It says officials in Kiev initially said an ICBM had been launched towards Ni- Nipo Nipo. Says November 21st, 2024 p.m. Says Putin issued new threats. ABC News report fallout after Russia launched new hypersonic ballistic missiles against Ukraine. State of emergency service of Ukraine. Wow. It says London and Kiev. It's like, yeah, which is in Ukraine. London and Kiev. Russian launch new intermediate range ballistic missiles on Thursday. Oh wow. Yesterday towards Napol in Ukraine, an attack that officials in Kiev initially said was an intercontinental ballistic missile. Wow. Wow. The experimental IRMP was based on a Russian RS 26 Rabish Rabish missile duty. Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina. Oh no, Sabrina Sag confirmed Thursday during a briefing without going into any specific details. She also confirmed that the U.S. was notified briefly before the launch. Ooh. Yeah, so things are starting to heat up, baby. Yeah, so, hey, man, call Loyum Yahal Bashamal Shai, man. So, yeah, so this is News Weekly. It says Russia fires first intercontinental ballistic missile at Ukraine, so that it proves that, um, what the Most High said. He created the Smith that blew off the clove. Hey, so these things were not created in vain, man. As as it's been said, and as we starting to see, it was said by the elders, and they taught us, and then we're saying the exact same thing, right? Yeah. So it says, this is still news week. It says, for the first time since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ukraine says Russia has launched an intercontinental ballistic missile, a ICBM targeted Ukraine, specifically the city of Dnipro, according to a statement from the Ukrainian Air Force on Thursday, which was yesterday. Damn.
Russia's first reaction to outgoing U.S. President Biden's risky war move was even more chilling than that. In less than 10 words, Moscow revived fears of a nuclear conflict between Russia and the NATO alliance led by America. The latest flashpoint is Biden reportedly allowing Ukraine to start using American long-range missiles for attacks deep into Russian territory. The president has expressed his opinion on this matter. This is what the Russian government said as the news broke. Moscow's reaction appeared to refer to two recent statements on camera by Vladimir Putin. A day later, Russia reinforced the message by implementing Putin's earlier warning. Here's a look at what Putin has threatened in response to Ukraine using Western weapons for deep strikes into Russia, and how incoming U.S. President Donald Trump might react to the sudden rise in hostilities.
Educational purposes only, right? Not making any money, not getting rich or anything like that. Using this for educational purposes only, right?
In September, news first emerged of the United Kingdom agreeing to Ukraine President Zelensky's long-standing demand of using Western weapons to strike deep into Russia, not just at the front lines. Subsequently, Russian President Putin appeared on camera to warn that such a move would constitute NATO's direct entry into the Ukraine war. In recent days, we have seen and heard at very high levels in United Kingdom and the United States that the Kyiv regime will be able to strike deep into Russian territory with Western long-range weapons. Apparently, this decision is either about to be taken or has already been taken. And these are, of course, extraordinary things. I would like to ask you to comment on what is happening. There is an attempt to change the meaning of concepts. We are not talking about allowing or forbidding the Kyiv regime to carry out attacks on Russian territory. It is already doing so with the help of unmanned aerial vehicles and other means. But when it comes to using Western-made long-range precision weapons, it's a different story. The fact is, as I have already said, and as any expert will confirm, both in our country and in the West, the Ukrainian army is incapable of striking with modern Western-made long-range precision systems. This is possible only with the use of intelligence from satellites, which Ukraine does not have. It is only data from satellites of the European Union or the United States, generally from NATO satellites. That is the first thing. The second and very important thing, perhaps the key one, is that only NATO servicemen can enter flight orders for these missile systems. Ukrainian servicemen cannot do that. So it is not a question of allowing the Ukrainian regime to attack Russia with these weapons or not. It's a question of deciding whether or not NATO countries are directly involved in a military conflict. If this decision is taken, it will mean nothing but direct involvement of NATO countries, the United States, European countries in the war in Ukraine. Their direct involvement. And certainly, it considerably changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict, implying that NATO countries, the United States, European countries are at war with Russia. And in this case, given the change of the conflict's nature, we will take appropriate measures based on the threats we face.
Well, ultimately, this is the Most High's movie, right? So you can see the clips and the little articles I showed you, you know, Lazinski, you know, he's playing a game because he's just an actor, and all these other people are, you know, they're playing him, you know, using him as a, you know, a puppet, but you know, there's one greater puppet master is the Most High. So this is Proverbs chapter 21 and 1. So the king's heart meaning mind, la'ab meaning mind, right? The king's mind is in the hand of Yahweh, right? So all these things that they're doing, they think they're doing it on their own accord or their own will. But really, ultimately, it's the Most High, man, right? It says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will, right? So the Most High made the waters and the rivers, and then you got, you know, like when you think about rivers, I believe most rivers flow south and into the ocean, and then you got a place like the Nile, which flowed north into I believe into the Mediterranean Sea, right? And that was by way of design of the Most High. The Tigris, Euphrates, the way it curves and this and that, and then it comes into three rivers, and you know all this design was ultimately by the Most High through His Son, through who war ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai, right? Right. So the Lord controls all this, right? So you know, it says, every way of a man is right in his own eyes. So in your own mind, your own thought, the way you see things and perceive things, you think you're making the greatest decision, right? Like according to these elites, right? This is the way to go in order to push their agenda, the New World Order agenda, right? But then the scriptures tell you that they were going to go this way, that all this was going to go in no, not exactly how it was going to be, but pretty much we knew it was gonna come down to something similar or something like this, because this is what the scripture was saying, right? And it's gonna lead, because the Lord said, I'm gonna lead you to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. So all things are pointing towards this way. The Lord said that He had created the smith to blow off the coal, right? It says, seem it right in His own eyes, but Yahweh, right? But Yahweh pondereth the heart, right? Which is your mind. Yeah, so it's a ponder.
Ponder.
Ponder. Ponder is a verb that means to think about or consider something carefully, especially for a noticeable length of time. So it says the Most High pondereth the king's heart within his hand, so he could think about it. And the Lord is outside of time, so He can do a whole lot of pondering and putting things and thoughts within your mind, right? Right. So this is Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. And I beheld to the thrones were cast down, right? Which that's ultimately which this is all about. It's casting down all the thrones, all you nations are going to be cast down, right? To give it unto his son, Yahushai, right? So, and I beheld, which means to look, feast your eyes, pay attention, till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient what? And the ancient of days did sit, which is talking about the Most High Yahweh, which is outside of time, right? The ancient of days, right? Did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair and his head, right? So the hair on his face and the hair on his head is like the pure wool, right? So it shows you that, hey, who has woolly hair? Even, all your dictionaries and everything will tell you woolly hair is for a Negro, right? So-called Negro, right? It says the throne, his throne was like the fire, that fiery, like the fiery flames, and his wheels as burning fire, right? Which talking about the chariots, man. What they call UFOs, UAPs, right? They man, the Lord travels in style, man, right? Which really, this is just, this is just, the Most High don't come off his throne, but it's just showing you. I mean, if he wanted to, the Lord will travel. He could travel in what they call UFOs, right? So, but it's showing you that even with that, it's saying it's his throne, and so he don't come off his throne. So hey man, yeah. So this is Job 33:15. It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. So that's part of what the Lord pondering the minds of the kings, right? They said, and then pondering means for, a specific like length of time. So then the Lord's outside of time, right? So the Lord can and think about and ponder of like what He's gonna do, and that as you're sleeping, the Lord openeth the ears of your mind, right? And put these things right into your thoughts while you sleep, and sealeth their instructions. So these things that they're doing, they don't even know why they're doing it. They think, oh wow, this is a great idea. I just thought of it all by myself. Right? That he may withdraw a man from his purpose. Right? So the Lord can withdraw you from your purpose, right? I mean, and ultimately, the Lord set us for us to be fruitful and multiply, live out all the days of your life in health and things, these things. But under these people's mind, their thing is, no, we don't want you to multiply. We want you to take plan B. We want you to be able to do all sorts of manner of sexual perversions and deviantness, and then turn around and you can abort the babies, and you could do this and you could do that. And this is the mindset of this place right here, right? Or they just want you to be perversions to the point where the perversion will never get, you can never get a child out of that perversion, right? You know what I'm saying? You're doing a sexual deviant, but out of that sexual encounter, because you're of the same gender or whatever, you'll never be able to procreate, right? This is the mindset of this rulership, that they would even allow that type of thing to go on, right? So that the purpose of who we are is not purpose, but but the Lord's going to draw them from their purpose, because their purpose is to be wicked. So the Lord's even going to draw them out of their purpose of being wicked. Why? To destroy them. The only way to get them out of their purpose, because who can make a crooked thing straight? The Lord made them to be crooked. So they're never going to be made straight. So the only thing to do is to wipe them out. Right? So that's what it said. To draw a man from his purpose, right? His purpose is to create havoc on this earth, right? And hide pride from that man, right? And that's what this dude, he loves to have this pride, pompous pride in everything he do. Lazinski, Putin is terrified. Well, you seen the video we just showed. Putin is not terrified, and he has complete understanding that there's no way for you to be able to use these long-range missiles without using the satellites, which you do not have, which means NATO is in direct responsibility, or America is in direct responsibility. Either which way, you have declared war on them. Right? They can give you all the long range that they want. You're not supposed to be able to use it. Right? So he's no fool, right? Makes sense. You know what I mean? Hey, and that's getting it from the horse's mouth. Like that really was profound. I was like, wow, that makes all the sense in the world. And that's why, hey, look, obviously you're committing, you want war with me. Okay. So of course he shot off an actual ICBM missile. You want it, you got it. Right? But all this is for, because the Most High wanted it to be that way. It says, he keepeth back his soul from the pit. And right, so the Lord keep you from dying, right? He can either keep you from dying, and his life from perishing by the sword. So the Lord can seal something in your mind to keep you from dying, or he could put something in your mind so that you do die, that you do perish by the sword. And the modern day sword is the gun, and then ultimately what? The ICBM missiles, man. Right? Yeah, so this is Ezekiel 38 and 10. Thus saith the outer one power, most high, Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Basham Rakal Kadash. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, right? Right, because this is the Lord speaking to Gog of Magog, the land of Magog, Gog in the land of Magog, speaking to him, saying he's going to bring him back, right? Which is talking about Russia, that USSR mentality, right? Put hooks in his jaws. And in that time, that same time shall things come into thy mind, right? So who's coming into to your mind? The Most High. Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, is allowing things to come to your mind, right? And that controlling, the true mind control, right? Because government means mind control, but the one who has the ultimate government is the Most High. He has the ultimate mind control, right? And why Wag Your Dog Lazinski is trying to say that Putin is frightened. Well, he don't understand the mentality of the Most High, and that guy is far from being frightened, because the Lord is about to put something into his mind to bring forth that that force, right? And then you gotta think this is very important news, because if that truly was a ICBM missile shot into Ukraine, there has not been such a force delivered since the time of Hiroshima and Nagasaki upon the earth, which means that whole that which means that things are going to get a lot more heavier, right? That means the escalation of many nukes being shot, more than just one, is more than probable, right? And that's a big thing. For if that truly was an ICBM missile, there has not been the likes since the last, was it 50 years, 60, something like that. So that's monumental. So, and this is all because of what? The time that the Lord should come, the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thus shall think an evil thought, man. Right? An evil meaning a bad time, right? Times are not as good as they once were, or the ties should I say, that you once had with people are cut off. So now those are what? Bad times, right? Evil times, an evil thought, right? Which causes what? War, right? And sometimes you know how person can think something about a person and it not even be a legitimate thing. You just think the person's against you. But once you know, once the fight gets to going, it's kind of no turning back, right? It says, and thus shall say, I will go up unto the land of unwalled villages, and will go to them that are at rest, right? And this place, not just America, but also Israel, have unwalled villages, and they constantly, think everything is good with them. They're at rest. They're in, I think they're in peace and so-called peace and safety, right? It says that dwell in safely, right? See, because that's what it is. You think you're gonna be good. You got your Iron Dome. Then America always had, the ocean in between everybody. They go take the fight to other places, go to the eastern part of the world, fight with them in the eastern part of the world, and nothing ever comes to this western part of the world. That dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, right? And the U.S. defense system is basically not equipped to defend, right? Because a wall is for defense, and the U.S. defense system is not capable enough to actually defend America, nor NATO, nor Europe. Okay. Yeah. So this is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me. So this is ultimately to, the elect, right? The Lord said, in your patience possess ye your soul, right? So we're just waiting upon Yahweh Bashem Mahushai, right? Be angry, but sin not, right? That's ultimately what that's going into. Saith Yahweh, right? All caps, talking about the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, until the day that I rise up to the prey, right? He's going to send his only begotten son to judge this world that he have through his son has created for my determination, right? See, and this is ultimately, you know, the Lord's determination, right? For all these ICBM missiles and things to happen, right? To get you closer to World War III, right? These are things that the Lord's going to put in your mind, evil thoughts. The Lord's going to control all these things. And this is all his determination for this to happen, is to gather the nations, right? To gather you all together, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, right? Send, to bring all you kingdoms down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, right? For this World War III. So all this little conflict and all these things are happening. It's ultimately the Most High putting it in your mind to do so, right? So you don't have an original thought in your mind. All that's for the Most High to bring you to fight against one another, right? To pour upon them my indignations, right? For I have assembled the kingdoms to pour out my indignation, which is righteous anger, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be dissolved with the fire of my jealousy, right? And that don't mean the earth is going to be destroyed, right? Because the earth abides forever, but it's just talking about the rulership of this earth, like we read earlier about in Daniel 7 and 9, that all the thrones will be cast down, right? Which I did that just to show you that the Lord is without time, but also it's showing you, yeah, the Lord is about to cast down all these thrones, all these rulerships, right? And it's part of his determination, the Most High Yahweh, right? That's his determination through his only begotten son. It says Joel chapter 3 verse 2, I will gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, which means mountain of troops. A lot of people some people say valley of judgment, but it's supposed to be mountain of troops, because that's where a lot of the military are gonna die. Which ultimately goes into judgment, right? That's where the judgment is gonna preside at. And I will plead, right? And that plead goes into judgment with them for my people and for my heritage, Israel. So ultimately, what the Lord, this whole World War III is to deliver the Israelites and give his son rulership over not just the universe, but also all the planet Earth, right? So, and by default, you being an Israelite, you inherit that. What I mean, the Lord said we should be joint heirs, right? Dealing with the elect, joint heirs, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So this whole thing with the Gaza Strip and them doing what they're doing and beefing with Iran, which ultimately is backed by Russia. So Gog and Magog and Persia, who Gog is going to protect, who the Lord's going to put an evil thought in his mind in order to push forth his determination right? Because the Lord is ultimately, so ultimately, bringing forth for the day of vengeance is in my heart, right? So bringing forth what the Lord's determination, right? And the determination being the Lord's determination for the day of my vengeance, right? And that's part of his determinations for the day of his vengeance is in my heart. Heart meaning la'ab, meaning mind, right? So when something's in your mind, and the Lord also said that he could take a king's mind and ponder means to basically think, meditate, right? So not only can the Lord take a king's mind or your mind and seal everything in your dreams to tell you, hey, go forth and do this, go forth and do that. Therefore, this leads you into either safety or destruction, right? And then this is ultimately what the Lord's meditation, right? He's meditating, la'ab, mind, heart. The year of my redeemed, right, is for his children to redeem, right? He paid for them, right, by his blood, right? We're bought with a price by the blood of Hamashiach Yahushai, right? And it's time for it's about that time to redeem what he paid for, right? It's almost like you buy something off of was it Amazon or whatever, you paid for it, but the thing has to be shipped in or whatever. So you paid for it, but you haven't fully redeemed it until it gets to your house, to sit in your packages in front of your door, and even then you don't got it. You haven't redeemed it, right? Because you got the thing called what they call porch pirates, right? So you still haven't redeemed it until you actually come home, open it up, or come home, open your door, pick up your package, and walk your package within your house, open it up, and then start using it. That's when you ultimately redeemed it. But if you bought it, paid for it, but you didn't get it because of a porch pirate, you didn't ultimately redeem it. And say ultimately that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? The Lord paid for something, and Esau's like a porch pirate, man. He came and took what the Lord paid for, and it's within the Lord. It's in his possession. What the Lord paid for. Matter of fact, you might as well go. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom, right? And that's what it is. Esau, Edom. You have took the Lord's precious things within your hands, his jewels, right? It says, who is this coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, right? Basra being a chief place within Edom, or right, a coastal place in Edom, right, which is synonymous with Edom, right? This is this that is glorious in his apparel, which is talking about Yahweh Shai. He's coming forth to judge this world, right? Which is glorious. This is that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, right? He's coming back as an angelic power, as an angelic force, right? Right? He's not being the man that came like a lamb to give up his life to pay. He already paid for it. Now he's coming back to redeem what he paid for, to actually get it, right? Because Esau's like a porch pirate that took his took what he paid for. So he has to come. Hey, the Lord is upset. Like, wait a minute, I paid for that. Why is the things I pay for in your possession? So that's ultimately what's happening. And I will, and I that speak in righteousness, right, mighty to save, therefore thus art red in thy apparel, right? Because the Lord's coming to do a lot of because the Lord's still, he's the ancient world, you know, ancient customs, Even Esau know that because I'm in Arizona. I live in Arizona, and I believe if you look up in the law, I believe because they never removed it. In Arizona, if you steal a man's horse, you can kill him. That's a law punishable by death, by taking someone's horse, right? And so you're dealing with the old type of ways, So I mean, how much more when you're dealing with a God or power that's from the ancient times, where you get your a lot of people talk about your limbs being cut off, but these are hey, you know well, matter of fact, we're gonna go into, because the Lord has the judgment for that. It says, wherefore thus are red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat, which is talking about Yahweh Shai, how much killing he's going to be doing. It's like blood is going to be getting shot everywhere, just so many people dying, which this is parabolic, but it's not. The deaths will not be parabolic, right? The deaths, the way people are going to die is going to be very real. And I will tread the wine press alone, and of the people there is none with me, for I will tread them in my anger, right? So this is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who they think is coming back with sprinkles and rainbows, and let's have a pride parade, and do it thy will parade, and everything's gonna be okay, right? We love everybody. Everybody, come on, no matter who you are, come as you are, right? As if the Lord don't have criteria, like he don't have. Well, yeah, he has laws, statutes, and then not to mention he has a particular people that he's dealing with. That's why the Lord said, "My people, my heritage, Israel," and it says, that's what I said, and tread them down in my anger, and and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will slain all, and I will stain all my raiment, right? Which is parabolic of just if you think how much he's saying, there's going to be so much blood that it's going to be just splatter, 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 like he said, like treading in the wine press, just like if you're just stomping on it, and then as eventually the juice and it gets higher, and the higher it gets, the more it splatters, but you stomp and stomp, and they pour more grapes, things, and you stomp and stomp, and it's just splattering everywhere. It's just everywhere. And about I don't know if you ever spill wine, that thing is hard to get out, right? That's why he's saying it's just going to be everywhere, right? For basically going into, like what the Lord said, his determination for this day, for the day of my vengeance is in my mind, or my heart. It says in my heart, but heart meaning mind, la'ab, mind, in the year of my redeem, right? He wants to redeem what he paid for. So when I buy something, guess what? I'm gonna be angry that someone's being like a little porch pirate, taking what belonged to me when I've already paid for it. You're going to be angry, right? Yeah, so this is Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth the man, see, that's basically what happened. That's what you did to us. You stole us. You're like a porch pirate. The Lord came and died, for his people, for their sins. Ultimately, he paid for it with his own blood. But then you steal us. And he that stealeth the man and selleth him, right? You stole us, and then not only did you steal us, right? So you sold us. So you was you know what I'm saying? That's both ultimately what these porch pirates do, right? Someone else already got on their online, put their credit card information or their debit card information, typed in the thing, seen the thing that they wanted, clicked on it, and now they're waiting in the mail to get it. And then you get it like a what do they call it? You get an alert on your phone. Bing bing. Your package is arrived. So oh shit, my package is there. Cool. You know what I'm saying? You at work, you doing your thing, whatever. So when I get home, my package is gonna be on my porch. But then when you come home, it's gone. Or you at work and now they have these little what do they call? I forgot the door ringers or whatever with the cameras, the doorbell camera things or whatever. Now you can see the guy come up there and walk off with your goods that you pay for, right? That's kind of like the Lord. It says the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So you think the Lord didn't see this? Of course, He's seen you grab His children, grab His people, grab His heritage. Matter of fact, He said He placed them in your hands because they were being bad. You know what I'm saying? They were misbehaving, so He used you to punish them. But you the one you went too far, right? But the Lord sets it up like that too, right? Just to judge you, because He really technically wanted to judge you anyway, but He needed you to do something to give it even more reason to judge you. And then on top of it, you go further than what you needed to go. So listen, why not? But ultimately, this is what this is, man. So, and he that selleth the man, stealeth the man and then selleth him. That happened here in America, Babylon the Great. It's all in your history books. It's all history. We learned that our whole lives. You could try to change your history books now, but it's too late. Or if, right? So maybe you didn't sell me. Like you I didn't steal that. I didn't steal it. I don't know. I don't know how I got here, right? Because that's also what it said. Or if it be found in his hand, and if it be found in his hand, but I didn't steal it. What is it doing in here? I don't know how it got here. Because that's ultimately what Esau's doing. He's trying to wipe away history. But you're not calling us the natives. You ain't trying to give us reparations. No, you ain't give us no land, so we could build casinos too, right? You let the natives got casinos, right? Which those are Israelites too, but just saying. As far as everybody like to, just put it off on the so-called black men that they went on cargo slave ship, which the natives went, the Mexicans went. We don't understand that, but just going off of simple BS logic that people have, because the school system is all jacked up and most logic know that the so-called black men went on slave ships. But then they turn around and come back and say, "Oh, there was no slave ships. We don't know nothing about. Hey, we didn't. No, slavery didn't happen, or no. You were what was it called? Indenture slavery. They was trying to put it like we were getting paid, but then we didn't. We were set up to be indenture slavery, but somehow we just didn't get paid or something. I don't know how they was trying to trying to spin it off, but that's kind of like a thief, man. You gonna spin it to say, well, now you got caught, and he be found in our hand. Well, I don't know how I got it. Ain't mine. I didn't. You know what I mean? That's just like now today. If you had something and the police pulled you over, it's in your car, and you could be legitimately saying, "Look, I don't know how I got here," but the way they looking at it's like, look, it's in your car, in your possession, and you want to look at me and tell me you don't know how these drugs got here, and you could be legitimately telling the truth, man. Somebody else might have left them. You might have gave somebody else a ride or something. The police actually planted it there. We have a lot of those situations has happened to Jake, right? And you could legitimately be saying, "Hey, look, I don't know how I got there." But they're not going to believe it. It's in your possession. And that's what it's saying. And if it be found in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. See, and that's what's coming for you, right? Yeah. So, right. Be found in your hands. So it says Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, which means to look. Feast your eyes, look, pay attention, right? I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, right? America, right? The daughter of Babylon is America, an assembly of great nations. So the Lord is his determination to allow all these nations to come up against Israel, America, NATO, EU, to bring you all into the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, to gather all you nations to cause you to fight, right? And it's ultimately for his people, for the elect's sake. So it ain't no putting off World War III, right? To gather the nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, right? America, right? And Israel, right? Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return vain, right? And none shall return to vain, right? So, on the second coming of Yahweh Shai, right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the second coming, that's how angry he's going to be, man. He's going to cause all you nations to come together, and that's ultimately what he's doing. That's the Most High, through his son's determination and his it's upon his mind, right? Vengeance is on his mind, on his heart, right? It says vengeance is upon his heart, right? Which is meaning his mind, which means he's meditating upon it, or he's pondering, right, upon it. And it says Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14, and this is what he's been pondering: put yourselves in array against Babylon, which is the daughter of Babylon, which is America, Israel, NATO, EU, round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. See? So with like I said, that's very big. If Putin, if that really was an ICBM missile, that's proven that the rest of these ICBM missiles are going to be used on a high level, man, because it's never been like that since Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and those wasn't even ICBMs. So nothing has been done in that level in some time. So now was it unprecedented, how they say it. That's freaking big news that we just looked at, right? And that what he just shot at them is what an arrow, a ICBM, right, to Ukraine. He shot an arrow. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Yahweh, right? He is, or the existing one, or yeah, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakal Kadash. Says shout, um, shout against, right? Because in war, one of the things you shout, you shout, you do like intimidation, right? It's like an intimidation tactic, right? That's why he says shout against her, right? Do some intimidation tactics against America, Babylon the Great, right? Shout against her, and that's kind of what Putin was doing. He said, "Look, if y'all do this, I'm gonna do this, and this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to forewarn you. I know if you do this, it was you who participated in helping. Because why? Because they don't have satellites to be able to use long range. You can give them long ranges all you want to. They cannot operate it because they don't have satellites. So therefore, you use it. Boom, they used it. Hey, shout at her, right? Threaten her. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand, right? See, for her foundations are fallen, right? See, now you're giving your hand to help Ukraine, giving them the aid to be able to fire the long range missiles because they don't have satellite, like what Putin was saying, right? But now your foundations, hey, everything that you were standing on, hey, it's all going to get put down. It's falling. Her walls are thrown down, which you don't really have walls, but talking about your defense system is going to be nothing, man, right? Your defense system is not good. It's not what it's all cracked up to be, right? Which even a lot of your own people said that. Trump said it. A couple of your own military advisors have said your defense system is crappy. It can only hold about 10% or 5% or something like that. I think one of the dudes was saying it's not that great of a system, right? Walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance. Oh, what? There's that word again. The vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her, as she has done, do unto her, which is America, Babylon the Great, right? Israel, NATO, EU, because they're all involved. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handle the sickle, right? Because ultimately that's what they're doing anyway. They're like the scripture verse says, take your plowshares and your pruning hooks and turn them into swords and spears. So that's ultimately what they did. They cut off the sower, so right, which basically going to go into the famine. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handle the sickle in the time of harvest. See, so famine is going to come, for fear of the pressing sword. Right, because doing all this, this is going to be the time that Esau is going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time, trying to charagma as many as people as he can to bring in that new world order, because things are starting to fall apart. That foundation is falling. Your walls are thrown down. The things that it looked like you had it all together. It's not so much, right? So it says, everyone, fear of the pressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land, man. Yeah, and that's the time of Jacob's trouble. A lot of people gonna go to their own, or you're gonna have to be around your own people because of race wars, riots, disease, pestilence. You got to be amongst your own people because that's the only way you're gonna have protection. And even then, things are gonna be drastic. People are gonna be turning on their own people, right? For the lack of bread, right? So ultimately, this whole thing with these ICBM missiles, I'm gonna do one more real quick. Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. So ultimately these ICBM missiles being shot are the determination or the meditation or the la'ab, right? The vengeance that's on the Lord's mind, on his heart, right? To do it. For strong is the right hand, right? And his right hand is Yahweh Shai, that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and they've been practicing and getting those ICBM missiles ready, right? Making sure that the coordinates and everything will be right. Make sure it got enough fuel, right? Enough jet fuel, whatever it causes to when it comes out of those silos. Make sure it's all ready and ready to go. All what do they call? What you say? Oiled up, lubed up, ready to go, pristine, right? Cleaning all the bells and the whistles, working out all the bugs, so to speak, as they say in the world, right? Knocking all the kinks out, right? That's that sharpening, right? And his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, right? They've been prepared, jade helm, all these different things, practicing their drills to come down upon you, practicing their long range, short range, ballistic missiles, ICBM missiles, hypersonic missiles. These are the things that's been going on, right? They're sharpening it, right? And shall not miss, right? Right? We got GPS system in a missile, and what was Putin saying? He know that they can't use it because they don't got satellites. So what is a satellite gonna do? It's gonna make sure that it shall not miss it. They shall begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, which means feature eyes, look, pay attention. The plagues, right, which are the ICBM missiles, which you're actually gonna have diseases and everything. That's plagues too. But the plagues is also the missiles. The plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right? And the fire is kindled. Right? Once those ICBM missiles come down and explode with, right? Which we're talking about multiple, not just one. Not like whatever he sent over to Ukraine, because I believe he only sent one. Because if he'd have sent multiples, man, yeah. So it says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consumes the foundations of the earth, right? Which says the earth shall melt with fervent heat. The elements will melt with fervent heat till the foundations of the earth, right? So with all that, I'm going to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and above all, Kwam Yasharallah.